Hey, Angela, how you doing? Thank you so much for kicking things off here for our critique discussion regarding the assignment 4-1 for your first iteration of your magazine ad. So first thing I was looking at is your writing here. Thank you very much. Does a great job describing your intent, not only your designer's intent, but also your technical approach. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much for including that. Let's go ahead and jump over to the work. I've got the work open and in the window here. So first of all, I want to say this is an outstanding start. Excellent, excellent job. Um, a few things I think that a few things I think that, well, let me just make some comments here. Okay, so first of all, page mechanics is outstanding. Really, really good job. Excellent hierarchy. Just a few things that we can take a look at here and really consider. Okay, so the first thing I see is the address here is not centered. It's supposed to be centered, as you can see, but if you take a look at the right and left margin, you can see the left margin is much narrower than the right margin. So you want to get that centered. The next thing I want to talk about while we're on typography is your leading here. That's the space between lines. I think you can close that down a little bit. I think these lines are really, really far apart, just a pixel or so, not much at all. And then make sure that your space between paragraphs is equal. Right here, this space is greater. There's no space here at all. So you want to make sure that those are equal. I also think that this little bit of a reduced contrast here, I would recommend that you set this type in the purple. Okay. I think right now, I think that typographically, everything is kind of pushed to the top of the ad. So we've got all this type kind of in the top 2/3 of the ad. So I think we can redistribute that way by taking this type selection here, moving it down. Okay, one really great tip is to align the first line of your type with where her eyes are. So it would be like right at that point right there. And that's going to really, it's going to force the viewer, the first thing the viewer is going to look at is her face. And we see her eyes, we're going to look at the eyes, and since those are going to be in alignment, it'll take us right across. So the hierarchy will be improved therein. Another thing I think is that right now the distribution of weight in the ad is a little bit forced on the right-hand side. This is a great job to affect the visual weight of the girl on the right-hand side of the composition. But I think this is adding to that weight. I would recommend using a logo with a less visual weight, maybe that full color logo with the purple and the teal. I think that might be a great option right there. And then finally, what I would recommend here with the subhead and the headline is left align it, because what that's going to do is that's going to bring it over, and it's also going to take a little bit of the weight away from the right-hand side of the page. So in summary, we've got center the type up top, left align the type for the headline. I think she might be a little bit high in the composition. In a perfect world, you've got room up top here to create a crop that brings her feet a little bit closer to the bottom of the page, maybe right there or so. That's going to open up a little bit at the top of the page. It's going to allow you to create more space between the address, contact information, and where the headline starts. In a perfect world, the headline would be right about there. Okay, and then, of course, the body copy would start right about there, probably go down to about right there. Okay, and then that logo replacement with something. Sorry about that. The logo replacement, something with a little bit less visual weight than what we have here. But other than that, I think it's just a really fantastic. And then don't forget to close down your your kerning. Kind of a mix between leading and kerning. Close down your leading. That's the space between the lines of type, and then also go for consistency for the space between paragraphs. All right. Other than that, really fantastic start. Really outstanding work here. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know. But I'd like to see those changes reflected in your final submission. If you want to make those changes and repost, that's fantastic. I'll be glad to make comments. But I would like to see those changes reflected in your final magazine ad. Okay, thank you very much. And again, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you.